And we're still waiting on Eddie Schultz with assisted living.
Supposed to read through all that?
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it anyway. I don't know what the machines are. Well, I thought, what the hell difference does it make if we know what you're spending it on? I don't know what the machine does. So, I mean, how are we supposed to know if it's a good buy or not?
You don't know what a baby warmer is?
I'm guessing a baby warmer is better than a blanket. But no, actually, I don't have a clue. I don't know what their biomed radiation thing there was either.
Well, there again, though, I mean, we've got to have some trust that these people know what they're doing, and
Well,
that's the reason they're in that position.
I mean, I can understand Rodney being concerned that we're spending this money, but if we don't even know what the machine does, how do we know if it's a good buy or a bad buy?
Yeah.
Or is it something that's mandated and regulated by the federal government or something? I mean, I don't know that kind of stuff.
And I don't think it's up to us to learn it.
Well, I wouldn't think it would be.
Grandkids, yes. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, gang.
We cannot find that anywhere.
So if Eddie doesn't get his buy,
Got the minutes, but we didn't see.
Can I see them?
Yeah, he wouldn't hurt me.
It's like trip over them.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the pool's been a big hit, don't you think?
It's really nice. But on Main Street, we see our park, our courthouse, and the school looks good. Playground there, and we got this beautiful pool. It's a nice addition to our town. I know it costs a lot, but it's nice.
Well, I know a bunch of little boys that sure have enjoyed it.
I've got grandkids here this week and great grandkids, and they are going to
Yeah.
looking forward to it. But I'm not going.
They talked me into getting in the other day. And of course I had Mason. Kids like trying to hang on to a bobcat in a phone booth. They had a good time. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, everyone's on their way here. Yeah.
You guys see this? That's hospital. That's what they're projecting on mill levy and sales tax.
Yeah.
Accident at the bridge.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. It takes a lot of money.
But but I don't understand, where does the tax come from? That's way over 6 mills.
Yeah, with its 1 point so much, like a 1.5% sales tax.
Yeah, but the sales tax
Up
is
here.
200 and some thousand,
Yeah.
and the mill levy, well, that's right.
So clear, hey Scott.
75,000.
You ready for us?
Good morning.
Okay, good morning.
Have a seat.
Morning.
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 Right on.
I need to sign one of the bills that we approved it. It was in the things you were supposed to pay, but I need to sign that copy. You probably already approved it.
We didn't bring as much paper today, so,
Attaboy.
yeah. We learned our lesson. But no, I think our purpose today is have you review the guaranteed maximum price. And Brian is here from Hutton Construction. So, I think that's the main thing. And then there's one document we did, I know you're working with Sarah Steele, Scott, on getting some documents. She wanted us just to review that one on the requirement under the IRS law that we have that public hearing. Did you see that one?
I don't know when she might have sent that to me.
Yeah, I don't know either. You got a copy, Bob? Thank you.
I got one too.
We did review this, and we didn't see any problem with it. It's a IRS requirement that when you do bonds and you have a nonprofit involved, the county has to have this public hearing. And she's suggesting that it be held on the 31st of August, which is, I think, your last meeting in August, yeah. And this, if you guys are comfortable with this, then you would just tell Sarah, and then she'll contact the newspaper and work with you, Scott, on getting it in the newspaper. We asked her, why do we have to have this other, because we've had so many hearings and things like that. And she said, well, when you issue bonds, the IRS requires you to do this. So that's that piece. So, and then she needs a copy of the signed resolution that was done, I think, back in May of last year on that,
I think that I sent that
Did you?
yesterday, I believe.
okay.
Good.
So, and then I guess there's going to be several more legal documents that'll come before you in the coming weeks that have to do with these issuance of the bonds and the Public Building Commission. And so just kind of forewarn you, more paper heading your way. And these are all legal issues that we trust Sarah Steele is handling all that properly. So, Brian, I think probably ready to.
Okay, so what you have in front of you is our guaranteed maximum price for the project. My cover letter kind of indicates the drawings and the dates, a couple addendums we had as we were bidding the project, and then the project specifications. As you see, the first tab is the cost summary. The second tab will have all the contract drawings that we based this GMP off of. And then the third tab is the schedule, project schedule. So if you go to the first tab, you can kind of see the cost by division as they're spelled out. And then on the last page is our guaranteed maximum price. We are below the control budget that we've been carrying for several months.
And these are all, you all went through these last time. They approved all the subcontractors.
The subs and suppliers.
All
yes.
that stuff.
Yes.
And there were 3 areas, right, that you went ahead and put in the larger amount, but we're going to continue to negotiate.
Millwork, we're working with our supplier to bring his price down. It came in more than what we expected that to be. So we're working with him right now to get his price. In this guaranteed maximum price is worst case scenario. Yep. I've included his worst case price in here. The other one is doors and hardware. That one, the thing with that one was the architect spec'd a certain type of door. The reps for those doors couldn't get pricing on that, so I've got the architect working with a Masonite guy that's up in the corporate, I guess, trying to get their rep pricing so we can see where that falls. But right now we're kind of worst case scenario in this guaranteed
And you're
maximum
talking
price.
about interior doors,
Yes.
fire type, resistant, all that.
Well, they're more like a residential door. It's a Masonite is the manufacturer. We do have a alternate manufacturer in here in this price, so it's not like we didn't include doors. We've got doors in here.
Okay.
They're just not the particular ones that the architect wanted, and that's what we're working towards with him. Roofing is the other one. I've got a revised roofing sheet for you guys to sign. As we continued to talk with Weathercraft, which you approved previously. He didn't have the long-term care, so I had him give us a price, and that put him kind of out of the running. So now we're in with Farha, and their number is in this guaranteed maximum price.
Okay.
And your preliminary work on the mill work should indicate that they will lower the price, that it will be
I have
considerably
sent,
lower.
he sent me a proposal with some ideas that reduced it by about 30,000. I sent it to the architect to have him look it over and see if he agreed with them, or if there's, we'll have to get into probably some redesign if we want to get less money out of it. So I'm kind of waiting on what his response to their comments.
And then there's added costs if you do redesign, so probably.
It depends if we let who we have do it, I guess.
So Brian has been working very hard on,
Cost reduction. and
yeah,
budget.
yeah.
Yeah, and I do have some electrical, right now I've got some electrical deducts that I'm working with the electrical engineer and the electrician. Right now, the deducts are not reflected in this price, okay? So we'll address those as those get approved and incorporated into the project. I do have a contract amendment that includes this amount that goes along with our, I guess you guys can take a look at that. But basically it's saying the contract that we already have with the county, this is the dollar amount that'll be with. Because right now the contract we have with the county doesn't have a dollar amount associated with it. It just indicates that at a later date an amendment will be done to incorporate the GMP and the amount. This is that revised written one.
So how are you coming on the tax credits?
We have the Kansas State, they're all approved, and they will be used only for furnishing, like kitchen stuff. But we don't have any word on that big one, on the federal tax credit. We don't have that one yet, but
So there's
No
nothing,
leverage on it. You kind of, John, why don't you elaborate a little bit on where we're at in your conversation?
On the federal tax credit, that's where we would, if we get it, we'll get about $900,000. So this is what, coming up August the 1st, they get a new allocation of their money in October. So we will have, what they're telling me is that probably November, December, we'll have a decision. If there are projects this year, during this federal year, that drop out, then we could get access to that money. But right now, we're kind of standing in line, I guess you would say, for this current fiscal year, which ends September 30th. So new money will be available October 1st. So they really feel a little bit more confident about October 1st going forward.
And that funding would go, if we get it, would go towards kind of phase 3, you know, depending on how much work we do on the west wing when we're done, you know, to how much. I mean, there'll be some private and semi-private rooms over there for sure, but, so that's where most
So
of that
there is,
funding
there
would
is
go.
some money available, even if we don't get the tax credits.
There's some, yeah.
So you're gonna do a little bit of work on
Yeah,
the west wing.
yeah.
Yeah, this
They've
includes-
started doing some last week even.
Yeah, we're just doing some preliminary stuff to get ready for the abatement next week. And then after the abatement gets done, then we'll come in and start doing the demo in that west vestibule. That's kind of where most of the work here in phase 1 takes place. There is a family room down in the west wing that we're converting into a family dining with an exit out into that courtyard, because the current courtyard exit will be gone once we build the addition. That'll actually turn into the corridor down through your addition. And then there's the tub room that we'll do kind of in. I did put phasing drawing in here that I think it's the last sheet in tab 2. Yeah, that kind of outlines for you what phase 1 is, phase 2A and 2B, and then phase 3. And I think that 900,000 that you're talking, that's to do even more work
Yes,
down here in
yes,
the west
yes.
wing. That's not included in this at this time
Right.
in this GMP proposal.
This area is where the tub room and stuff is now, and they're gonna redo that, and if you ever look in there, you would wonder how they've been operating, but they will expand that, and there'll be way more room for the help to get them in and out of the tub, and, I mean, the tub is being replaced, it's fairly new, but that just needs redone, and so that will
This is the
happen.
west wing.
Yes,
I mean, where's the new rooms at, or the,
here,
and then where's the assisted living?
it's here.
I don't see it.
You ready? Roger.
The assisted living will happen the same time 2A and 2B are going on. The schedule is broke out into phase 1, phase 2, and then phase 3 is at the very, very bottom. But you can see that the assisted living, we kind of start first. Once the dirt guys get done there, then they'll move over to the long-term care, do the demo, do the dirt work. We'll just kind of chase each other, our trades. They'll just kind of, then concrete will start on the assisted living, and then it'll go over to the long-term care, and so on and so forth with the trades, just kind of chasing each other around.
Yeah, as those subcontractors are there doing, they'll kind of bring those up together so they don't have to come back twice.
And there are some contractors that we have, one for the assisted living, one for the long-term care, like framing. So we'll have one contractor framing on the assisted living and another contractor
At the
framing
same
on the
time.
long-term care.
Yeah, so any questions?
So you need a signature from me.
Right. Just approving that, that change.
Do you want a motion?
Sure.
When in doubt,
And then you'll sign it.
Yeah.
So am I making a motion for the guaranteed amount?
No, the other one.
This is,
The
based on the scheduled cost and scope of work, Hutton Construction would recommend the following subcontractor to complete the work as described below. For roofing, description of work is roofing systems. Their total quote amount was $74,489. The controlled budget amount is $85,981, so it comes in about $11,000 cheaper than.
11 and a half.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
There you go.
thank you.
You
Okay,
need a copy of that also.
and this is a guaranteed maximum price amendment.
And it is quoted on the front page.
I do have 3 copies of this. I really only need one signed, but I don't know if you'd like to look at it.
And it states the contract sum is guaranteed by construction manager not to exceed $5,128,336.00. Waiting on a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Go over that number again, 5128-336.
$5,128,336.00.
All right, it matches.
It's in several places throughout there, I believe.
I figured I didn't need a contract if I could see it in the, just wanted to make sure it was the same.
Which one? You want the original?
No, it's fine.
Hand that to Scott.
Okay, is a back page for us too?
I like the attorney signs it, doesn't she? I mean, how the hell do we know if it's authentic or not? Might be a copy for all I know.
Yeah.
Oh, here's, I think you signed here.
I've got one signature already.
Yeah, this is this is just a additions and deletions report. I guess just sign there. I don't know that we really need that, but. You need,
Yeah, we're good.
we're good? Do you want a copy of that?
Got it.
We're going to meet following our meeting with you, with Dolores, and kind of go over the funds and take a look at that. When are you thinking that you're going to start getting your crew set up out there?
Right now, we're scheduled for around the 14th.
14th of August? Okay, okay.
Yeah, we've got a superintendent here for a few days this week. They're finishing up moving the hair salon sink, I think today, moving that over. We got Jeff, we got you all moved last week, right? The
office.
cubicles.
Yeah, the cubicles are.
And Karen
Yeah.
Moberly said that went really well. She was very happy.
We're gonna meet with them today because there is some concern with not having access to that lobby during construction, during this phase. So we may be putting up a partition so that they can go from the west wing around.
And when we're up there at 2 o'clock, we
Yeah.
iron that out.
Yep.
When do you normally do the kind of a ceremonial groundbreaking on a project?
You know, this one's maybe a little bit different because really the bulk of the work isn't starting till October, but you know, you guys can do one, I guess, however many you want to do and as often as you want to do them. I can get you bring up the gold shovels and
Sounds like a lot of cake to me.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think this has been so long coming about that I think the public would like to be aware probably that it is started now. So I don't know, like possibly the 14th and maybe a little, I don't know.
Yeah,
You-
Monday the 14th would probably be a pretty good day.
Wouldn't
So-
it be better, though, if most of the major construction was going to be around October, if it was closer to then, so people would actually see it? Because if they see it now and it's,
Anything's fine with me. Anything.
I don't know, I'm
I
just,
mean,
there's
we're
really-
community perception.
Yeah.
in October we're really going to be breaking ground.
Yeah. So,
I mean, right now we're doing, phase one is kind of just a facelift remodel kind of thing. We're really not tearing anything up that the public will see.
anything's fine with me.
I like the idea of a little bit later.
Very good.
Things happen.
Disregard that statement, man.
I start saying, if anything's good with you, sign that check, slide it over here, we'll fill her out.
I would have one request, and being Dolores is here. At the budget meeting, John Mapes said that, seeing December 29th of 16, they transferred funds from the oil and gas depletion account in to cover things, and it went into that Home for the Aged account 150. And at that budget meeting, it really should have went into the capital improvement, number 225. And John Mapes said that you would have to sign something to move it
Transfer.
from 150 back to the oil and gas depletion into the general, from the general into this 225. And we're requesting that be done. So I don't know what
We
steps.
just need a motion for them, from the commissioners, to approve a transfer of funds.
So,
So it needs to go from, it came from the general.
well, it came
And I
from oil
don't-
and gas.
Well, it first came from oil and gas into the general.
Okay.
And then we went from the general into the Home for the Aged bond fund. I believe it could go just from the bond
Okay.
fund into the capital, Home for the Aged.
So whatever it takes, I guess, we're requesting that you do your magic and make it happen.
Yeah, just a motion to transfer
From which fund to which fund?
from the balance of 150 Home for the Aged bond to
And the 225.
225 Home for the Aged capital improvement.
It needs to end up in that 225.
It's in 150 now.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why we put it in the bond fund, because at the time, he was under the understanding we were making bond payments, and we cannot make bond payments out of the capital improvement fund. So that's why we opened the bond fund, to put that money in there in the first place. but that bond account is going to be changing next year by the auditors. It's going to be called PBC Home for the Aged, and that's going to be where the levy tax dollars will go in and out of. And there can't be anything else in there but tax dollars, and that's why we got to move it out.
We like change, don't we?
Okay, I need a motion to move. And how much money was in that?
$264,951.
To move $264,961 from...
951.
951, sorry.
He's gonna make $30.
It'd be 10 apiece.
Okay, from the existing fund of Home for the Aged, 150, into capital improvement, 225, Home for the Aged.
And the auditor says that's all
I'll
right.
double check with John, but I'm.
Yeah,
that's
we need
fine.
to
If
double
not,
check
I'll
and
just
make
do
sure
a-
we're going the right
to
direction.
general and-
All right, we'll wait
I
then
mean,
until...
that was the discussion we had at the budget meeting, but I understand verifying it.
Yeah,
That's-
Yeah, we
we're
better
gonna,
talk to
and you know we're gonna do it, just
Okay.
make sure
Yeah.
it's right.
And no, and that's fine. I just wanted to get it in motion. All right, any other questions?
Yeah.
Actually, the technicality of just moving it to the general and back, that wouldn't make a difference on your motion. Did you go ahead and make the motion then?
We haven't. So you're saying
Well,
we...
you,
Yeah, you can, I mean, just, I'll check with John, and if I've got to move it to the general before I move it to the, for the capital improvement, I can do that. I just get it from here to here, technicality of how I do it.
is there a big urgency to move it? Can we move it in 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's fine.
Wouldn't that be best?
That's why we started
Why
today.
don't you check with John and make sure exactly how we want to do it, and then we'll move it.
Okay.
Is that all right with you?
That's why we started today.
When is your next meeting?
30, or the 15th.
15th of August.
15th,
It is the 15th.
and then the 31st?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, if there's no further questions, we appreciate everything you do for us.
Comments from the crowd?
Thank you.
Did we get approval for that 8 o'clock? Is that gonna work for you for a time for that, that hearing? Or
Oh, on the 31st?
yeah, that
need
was
to
at 8
coordinate.
o'clock in the morning. Is that when you start your commissioners meetings? I wonder if that'd be a conflict.
How many? 8:30 probably be better, wouldn't it?
Probably.
At least
I'd
8
say, Leslie, why don't
time.
you contact Sarah and you girls work that out, can you? For the time? And then they'll do the public, they'll take care of the newspaper article, just, we want to make sure that'll work for your schedule.
So August 31st at 8:30.
Okay.
Depending on what they figure out for a date, a time. Surely the date is set in stone.
Sarah Steele, she will be here for that meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, she said she would.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John, can I work with you?
Yeah.
Can you?
Well, they're gonna start asbestos abate, and they're building some walls, and maybe just as a news article, you don't need to be an official opening, but just as a little news article, I'll let Jeff call you and say, hey, you know, just, here's getting it started.
If we add a picture and caption of it.
Yeah, just anything, just a little news article, with, hey.
Okay, any other business before the board commission today?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I think they've already built one wall, but
Not that I know.
Around there, we heard there was construction. What we did was-
they moved cubicles, yeah, it's all inside. Okay, all right. Yeah.
We can-
Are we gonna do anything
Probably,
with Reed for now, or just wait?
I don't think we can.
I'll have it as.
No, I'm not saying, but
When does his contract run out?
I appreciate that. That's great.
We haven't yet.
You're not gonna rattle for an hour, are you?
Busy in my office.
Well, I think every employee reviews the first year.
I think so too.
is it cool out there?
The original agreement was signed the 15th of February.
Well, just so as long as we're documenting.
That's what we're gonna have to do. Did you have something for us, Dolores?
No, I was just gonna
Just-
meet with them, but I thought it'd be easier doing here after you guys adjourn.
Okay.
Are we ready to adjourn?
Usually, seemed like the auditor always was involved in transfers.
Seeing that, I don't know.
Aren't they usually?
They usually, how transfers happen are, depends on what kind of transfer it is. If it's like a statute transfer or like a year-end resolution transfer, those are usually determined by the audit of the
Well, I
previous
guess
year.
that's,
And then, once the board approves the audit, then they usually can work out the transfers.
I guess that's what I was thinking more that,
Yeah, and John
That-
was here, I know, when he was here helping,
Years
working
ago,
through the
yeah.
budget, he made a comment about moving that out of the, because that's what we're gonna use for the levy, we can't have anything in the levy fund.
So,
Besides-
I guess I was wondering, usually it seemed like when I was on before, we made transfers once a year. That was it,
Normally,
normally.
but this is a different situation. I mean, this isn't one of those scheduled ones that we put in a budget. But those budgeted ones are done usually once a year unless something comes up that you guys would approve. You have the authority to do that outside of that one time, so.
Basically, the money got put in the wrong fund first time.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye. And the next one will be August 15th.
I can't remember if you guys were already on, but I created a policy and procedure of transfers and a transfer form. Have you ever looked through that?
I haven't seen it. It's on
I
the
will
website.
make sure that I'll have